Hi, I'm Laurel Thompson with Strings Magazine, and today I'm going to teach you how to tune a violin. We're going to do a few different ways. We're going to start off here with this iPhone app, and there's many iPhone apps that you could download for 99 cents, $2, and be able to tune up your instrument. Another option could be this sort of chromatic tuner, which is a similar concept of having a bar that's showing you if you're either flat or sharp and when you get it right down the middle. And then later on I'm going to show you how to tune off of just a pitch. That could be a pitch pipe. In my case, it's a metronome that has an A pitch. Could be a tuning fork. And how you can tune your strings in fifths off of a single pitch, like an A, as you would if you were in the symphony. So starting here with this iPhone app, as I'm talking you can see that it's spinning around and around as I'm talking with different pitches. So we're going to hone in on an E pitch here for my E string first, and I'm just going to do it by plucking it. And apparently I've got a buzz going on here. That's better. So we can see here that I'm just a little bit flat. So I have two options here. I have a peg and I have a fine tuner. Once the pitch gets really close to my desired pitch, I'm going to want to definitely use the fine tuner to avoid breaking the E string. And I think that I can probably use just a little bit of peg here in the beginning because we were far enough off. There is the fact that, eventually you will get to the bottom of the fine tuner's ability to tighten, and then you have to loosen it all the way and take up the slack with the peg. So I want to avoid that. So I'm just going to start with the peg here and hopefully I can get it right in place. So you see now it's a little bit sharp. I'm going to just take it down a little bit. Way too flat. Ooh. Right on the dot. Awesome. Okay. So I didn't actually have to use the fine tuner, but this is a new set of strings, so it's possible that in a few moments it might stretch out a little bit more, and then I'll just take up the slack a little bit with the fine tuner. So now I'm going to go over to the D because that's the string that I've just put on, and it's quite flat at this point. So it's kind of showing a flat C sharp actually. That's pretty flat. So I'm just going to take up the slack with the peg. If you have a fine tuner on your D string, then once you get close to your desired D, you can get it in fine tune with the fine tuner. But since I don't have that, I'll show you another trick if you're very close and you just can't get the peg in the exact spot. So here I go, and notice that I'm plucking with my opposite hand. That's really important so you know when you're getting close. Kind of hovering around the pitch here. That often happens. Just be patient and you'll get there. So it's showing just ever so slightly flat. So what I can do here when I don't have a fine tuner is I can just push on the string a little bit just right as it goes into the peg box, and that will just tighten it a little bit more over the nut. So you hear that pitch. It's just ever so slightly sharper. Hopefully that was enough to get it. Perfect. Almost. I can try it one more time. And since this is a new string, I'm noticing that it's actually stretching just as we speak here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just detune a little bit. I'm going to turn the peg down and see if I can just run it back up into that perfect spot. So I kind of get a running start. Okay, so here I'm a little bit sharp. So if you're a little bit sharp and you don't have a fine tuner, you could pull on the string a little bit to the side. You notice how much the string actually stretches, and you're not going to break it. And that was actually quite a bit of stretching. That looks like our note. All right. So that's one way that you can tune. If you are a little bit more confident with tuning and you want to try to tune like a symphony player would, then you can use a pitch, such as in this case an A, and you can tune to that tone, and then you can tune all of your strings in fifths off of that tone. So let me show you how that would work. So this takes, it's really helpful if you keep the pitch in your ear as you're continuing to tune, but I'm just going to keep this on. And I start with the A. So I'm listening, and first I'm trying to decide if my A is a little bit sharp or a little bit flat. So if it's a little bit too high or a little bit too low. Now one way to do this, if you're finding it hard, because this is a very close A, if you're finding it challenging, then it really helps to, it's like almost sing the note to yourself, and then see if your voice would have to go up a little bit or down a little bit to get to where your string is. So if I play this, and kind of memorize it internally, and then play mine, you can tell that the A is just a tiny bit sharp. Just a little bit. It might be just such a slight amount that I could just pull the string to one side, but what I'm going to do just to try and get it perfect here is I'm going to play this A, and I'm going to detune my string and try and get it at the same pitch. So you notice that I'm stopping and checking in with the pitch that I'm hearing. And again, pushing here, pulling here, as I feel like maybe the string is a little bit out. Okay, so I got that. And now I'm going to tune the D off of the A. So one really easy way to do this is just to detune your D a little bit and then come up into the pitch, and it's going to be the pitch that sounds the most harmonious. And with time and practice, you'll be able to go right to it, but when you're first starting to hear these intervals, that can be a really easy way, because then you know it's definitely flat. You don't have to listen for, am I too flat, am I too sharp on the string that you're tuning. So there we go, there's the A. So now I'm going to just play the A and the D together. So I know that that D is a little bit flat, but I'm going to take it down even more so that you can really hear what it's going to sound like as I come up into the A as a perfect fifth. That was easy. It's not always that easy, but hopefully it will be for you. So then I like to just play each of them separately. There I'm hearing like this is still stretching. Too much. There we go. So the first two notes of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is a perfect fifth. That's one way that you can start training your ear for those intervals. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to tune the D, or sorry, the G to the D. So the D, hopefully it stays in tune. Again, it's a new set, so it is stretching, but okay, so that G is already too low, but I'm going to, again, detune even more. listening for where the notes are just really harmonious together. You can hear it if it's a little bit off. For example, it's like, yeah, you know, that's not very harmonious. It kind of, it's a little bit irritating to the ear. So and finally, I'm going to go back to the A and I'm going to tune the E string off of the A. So for this, if you are using your fine tuner, you notice how I take my left hand underneath the bow. So that's a good way to start training yourself to use that fine tuner. Sometimes it gets tight and you have to come and do this, but ideally you can do this and keep your positioning with your bow. That actually sounds pretty good. Just to be safe, I'm going to just unwind a little bit here on the E string, and so that you can hear the difference. So definitely not in tune there. So I'm just going to take the fine tuner up. All right. So it's good to go back through and just do all of your open string double stops one more time to make sure that nothing's changed. The wood of the instrument can stretch as you're tuning various strings, for example, in the peg box, and sometimes when you get one string in tune, another one goes out of tune. But again, just be patient and you will get the right tuning. It may take a half an hour the first time, but then with time, you'll be able to tune within a minute. And there you go. I hope that was helpful, and good luck on your tuning experience.